referee. We're going to see what he's got.
Ladies and gentlemen, this professional welterweight battle is set for 3 5-minute rounds, and it is brought to you by Southern Roots Mortgage Brokers. And it is your co-main event of the evening. Introducing first, he's fighting out of the blue corner. He steps into the cage tonight with a record of 5 wins, 2 losses. His height, 6 feet, and his weight, 169.9 pounds. He trains with Cage Fit and Top Pressure, and he fights out of Opelika, Alabama. This is TRESTON, the Black Mamba Vine. And his opponent, across the cage and fighting out of the red corner. He steps into the cage with an undefeated record of 5 wins and 0 losses. His height, 5 feet, 11 inches, and his weight, 171 pounds. He trains with Agoge Combatives, and he fights out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. I present to you, Ian
our co-main event for a reason. People have really been anticipating the return of Stevens, and we'll see what Vines has in store.
Here we go, Stevens, Vines. Stevens immediately for that takedown. A very accomplished wrestler.
I'm still on the 100 muscle up thing.
Right, it was incredible.
I can do a lot of pull-ups, but like a lot for me is like 35.
I think you did like 35 or 40 at Cotton Eye Joe's a couple months ago.
You stole the show, yes.
I was so proud of that until you know, well, he can do 100 muscle ups.
Sorry.
Good God. Take the wind out of my sails.
I bet you could do 100 in one, Sam.
I believe Houston if he says it. You know, sometimes guys will lie. You know,
no.
It's like when you're a kid and someone says they once swung over the swing.
Right.
You know, it's like, did you really? In all seriousness, though, Stevens, you're really doggedly going after a single leg. Vines had to know this was coming because he's got good takedown defense here in the early going.
Yeah, he's done real well at countering the takedowns.
Yep.
And
this is an interesting spot.
I'm
they're
not
both in.
sure what. Yeah.
And we're in position to call this, but Stevens trying to get back up. Vines on top.
Now you want to put that head on the inside just to protect from any guillotine attempts. But it doesn't look like Ian's wants that guillotine.
Well, now Vines here finds himself getting a takedown of his own, but he didn't fall.
He does it.
His neck is compromised, perhaps.
Looks a little shallow.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
But I like that single leg control.
Trying to set it up again.
He's digging for it. This one looks a little tighter.
Vines has to be wise to it, though. Knowing it's coming and stopping it, though, are two entirely different things.
Yep.
Yeah, and he did a good job. As soon as his neck was, entangled, he gave up the position and then tried to change positions. This is a very technical little minute and a half we've just
I was thinking
watched.
the same thing, too. Yeah, there's a really good technique from both of these guys. Is 2 minutes spent here in the first.
I mean, the last 2 pro fights, we've seen some really crazy scrambles.
Yeah.
You know, it's just been
Absolutely.
nonstop scrambling.
It's such a fine line when you go from defending the takedown to attacking the head. Sometimes attacking the head gives the takedown. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it works to release the pressure.
Vine's doing a great job really trying to nullify these takedowns from Ian Stevens, which is a hard thing to take. You know, we've seen him successful in his wrestling in so many fights he's had.
Now, it's rare to see a wrestler pull guard with a guillotine.
Yeah.
Right.
Most of them know you're better off on top than you are underneath with the neck. He's holding on, though.
This whole kind of grappling exchange has been a little bit different than maybe I expected. I thought Vines would want to disengage a little bit more, but he seems totally fine to take on Stevens in the grappling.
Yeah, he definitely feels comfortable in this lockup that they've been having.
He must not know that Stevens can do 100 muscle-ups.
I should have told him.
He's lucky you didn't.
Yeah.
It would change the way I'd fight him.
Wow, that was a quick first round. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. No, 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 no. Who did that?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
I don't know if someone played a prank there with an air horn or someone was mistaken. These are professional fights. These are 5-minute rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody, I mean, we've had a lot of quick finishes here in the pro portion.
I do think there's someone in the audience that hit the air horn, but it happens, you know.
It looks like security is dealing with them. You know, security's had a busy night tonight.
Oh.
Not that anyone's misbehaved, just that it's a raucous crowd that knows how to have a good time. That's what you get here at the Aries live events. Back to the action. Vines has got Stevens caged.
Good knees.
Oh, very good knee, yeah.
Ian didn't react great to that knee.
He didn't. Pulling butterfly guard is something
That was,
you don't.
yeah, that was really interesting to see that. Vine's doing great on this really deep single like he keeps attempting, and maybe he's not doing too much, but it's definitely stopping him. Tristan up with the significant strikes, and
You're trying to keep score at home, you know. Great job here by the Aries production staff. You can see in real time where the significant strikes are. So
yeah, not to say so far, you know.
Tristan Vines might be up here on the scorecard.
I was kind of thinking the
3-1.
same thing.
I kind of think he's
is.
significantly
Yeah.
up. He's stuffed more or less every takedown.
Yep.
He's landed every big strike.
And these knees are powerful. I think it's the fourth one he's landed that has been powerful to the body of Ian Stevens.
He's going to get a takedown.
That's like the third or fourth of the round
The
in
head is
similar
in the-
fashion.
The head.
Yep.
He's making me nervous with those guillotine attempts.
Yeah, and Ian's
And he just keeps putting his head back there.
showing some wear here into the first round.
Both fighters are each pretty sweaty too, even though, you know, one round into things here, these 5-minute rounds. As we move forward, that's only going to increase.
Yep, 20 seconds remaining here of the first.
Yeah, Stevens is throwing some light strikes off his back right now.
Yep.
I wonder if he gassed himself out ever so slightly in all those guillotine attempts.
I didn't want to say it, but those do, you know, a lot of lactic acid will build up in those muscles that, you know, he obviously proudly has.
Well, to do 100 muscle-ups, he has to.
It's almost like we foreshadowed it with the muscle-ups, you know.
Hey,
He could use a muscle-up right now to get off his back, that's for sure.
I was in the back locker room, and he's in there just ripping them out. I thought it was a warm-up, but maybe that's just what he does.
No, that's what he does. Some wake up and pray. He just, you know, hammers out
Muscle-ups.
some muscle-ups.
Well, I'll tell you what, the odds makers, they might have gotten this one wrong. Tristan Vines here looking great in the early going. Tristan is going to look to build on success there in round one, and they got to talk and coach Ian Stevens up a little bit.
Stevens looks gassed. He had that stanky leg on his walk back to his corner.
Yeah, and I'm pretty confident that he got his last fight again probably about 4 years ago from Eric Olsen taking care of halfway into the first. So he's seeing a second round for the first time in quite some time here.
And it wasn't just that one fight 4 years ago.
Right.
There was a long layoff before that fight, too.
That's true.
It's been a lot of inactivity the last 10 years or so.
That is very true.
For whatever reason. Obviously, the man is in great shape. No one's going to dispute that, but there's no substitute for getting in there and doing it. And it's pretty fitting to make this point as we're joined by one of the busier fighters in the business, Sam Alvey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, this guy's active.
I'm looking to get back into that active streak. I'll fight here at the end of May, hopefully twice in June.
Oh, wow. Well, put it on your calendars. Fight fans have been spoiled here, and the action's going to keep rolling on through the year from Aries Fight Series, but we turn our attention back to the co-main event. Tristan Vines, Ian Stevens. It is round two.
Tristan Vines looks, oh, wow, what an incredibly timed takedown from Tristan Vines.
Oh, he rolled that hook just beautifully into a shot.
That was great.
And even if this is where Stevens wants the fight to take place, is on the ground,
I don't think
optically,
it is.
well, optically speaking, this is not a good
yeah,
way.
not in this situation. No wrestler wants to take the fight to the ground and then be on his back.
You go back to that body head run here on top, just enough to stay active and you're landing. Being aware of what Ian could be thrown up. Again with that guillotine, which
I see why it makes you nervous, Sam. I can see why it makes you nervous.
It looks tighter, but the angle is not good.
Yeah, the angle's not quite there, but that was the tightest I've seen it.
Right.
Each time you go for it and don't get it, though, it's the law of diminishing returns. That's a mathematics term, but it applies here to the fight game.
Hey, don't reach back. Don't reach back.
Yeah, it's still impressive how Stevens is able to get that guillotine. Because I'm watching, and Treston isn't putting his head necessarily in the wrong place, but Stevens is making it the wrong place, which is hard to do.
Smart, yep. Got some people, warning for a triangle. I don't see that coming Ian's way anytime soon. I really don't.
Yeah, Stevens is playing that open guard game, and typically you'll see whoever's on top looking to pass.
Right.
But Treston seems real comfortable in the guard.
I think he's patient, and I'm surprised Ian hasn't set up a sweep from here. We see a couple sweeps that could be set up from here to get Ian into a better position. I'm sure he has a game plan here, but I'm not seeing it quite yet.
When I was doing my tape study and making my notes on this contest, I really said, I think Treston Vines is going to be well served to defend as many takedowns as he can, show a good get-up game, and go, throw hands.
Yeah.
But actually what's unfolded is Treston Vines has got more takedowns than Ian Stevens.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 to 1.
And he's enjoying top control here, relatively unchallenged top control. He's had this position for the entirety of the second round. And take a look at that.
Wow.
66 to
10
6, 67 to
times
6.
the amount of significant strikes landed from Treston Vines to Ian Stevens.
Yeah, I would like to see Treston if he could walk Stevens to the cage a little bit, get his head pinned up there, and he'd be able to open up the strikes a lot more from top.
That's true. Ooh.
These ground and pound starting to get a little heavier here as we get to the later stages of round 2.
And I think it's becoming more and more difficult for Ian to control Tristan's posture and his positioning.
Yeah, if Treston can twist to his left a little bit, he will be in the finishing position. He will be where he could just pop those hips up and make it rain.
Ooh. I don't think it's a triangle setup. I think it's more of an attempt at a high guard just to try to keep him in a more comfortable spot for Ian. I don't see Ian attempting for a triangle here.
Vines corner thinks that Stevens is about to quit. And I mean, obviously, sometimes you gas a fighter up with the best case scenario. And I'm not saying that Stevens is looking to quit, but Vines is really smothering him.
Yeah, it's surprising for him to have this open guard. What do you think about that, Sam?
Yeah, to have it open and not have gone for anything is what's really surprising. I mean, there's a time and place. I'm a guy, I hate keeping my guard locked because I just keep someone on top of me.
Right.
So I'll open it, but I will do something with it.
Well, with the plan for a sweep or, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, half the time I'm trying to give up my back to get them to take it, and I'll stand up with that. But that's my mistake.
Treston Vines aptly named, especially with this kind of style of fight. It seems like he's got his vines around Stevens, and Stevens just simply cannot escape the tundrils of Vines. I really tried to work that in.
I get it. No,
it kind of made sense. I was
good.
thinking like a Poison Ivy Batman kind
that-
of thing. You guys are all right. You guys are good guys.
Ooh,
Thanks for letting me try.
We're here for support for you. You can't win them all.
I was trying to think how to tease you about that.
It was a good try.
Yeah,
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you definitely took that one.
I've been doing it all night. You've been popping in and out. I've been killing it. But as we turn our attention back to what's going on in the cage, in all likelihood, Treston Vines up 2-0 as we go into the last 10 seconds here.
I hate 10-8 rounds, but this, you could argue, I mean, he's been on top for 5 minutes.
Well, Sam, you just said it. I have to ask you. You hate 10-8 rounds. You don't think they should exist, or you think they're given out too liberally? What's your feelings there?
I think they're giving out way too liberally. Like my standard is Frankie Edgar versus Gray Maynard, round 1 of their second fight. That's a 10-8 round. Anything shy of that is not 10-8.
Okay, well, there's like 4 or 5 that immediately come to mind that I can imagine you must have hated.
Oh, it is, almost all of them. It's like everything except that one round of Frankie Edgar versus Gray Maynard.
All right, well, hey, there's a man with standards, a man with principles. It is Smiling Sam Alvey. And I actually like to, pick our guest's brain about the fight game. And can't think of a better person to rap with.
I've got I've got over 80 fights.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 25 in the UFC, and I had a long career before the UFC.
Yeah, well.
There's so many.
a wealth of knowledge to draw upon. That's what it's been all night here at the commentary table, Houston. Great performances by Sam and all of our guests. So much thank you to all the guests.
It's pretty amazing to think that Sam's had as many fights as my wife's reminded me to take out the trash. It's pretty incredible, so props to you.
Well, I'll tell you what, it has been great, and the Mutual Admiration Society needs to stop briefly because, gentlemen, round 3 of our co-main event underway. Vines Corner tells them, if you push the pace, you can find a finish for yourself here. Really make a statement.
Yeah, and I think Ian's looking for that knockout.
That front kick was pretty vicious, though.
Yeah.
Good sprawl, not a great shot. He's got that guillotine attempt again. He's got to switch to a single leg.
I think that Tristan this time is a little bit more wise to it. That one is tight, though. You're right. Yeah,
just so much
squeeze.
sweat.
It's only
at this
one
point.
arm, yeah.
So much perspiration at this point in the bout. It's going to be tough.
You know, one person I've really seen to be successful with that one arm is now his name's escaping me, but you don't see it too often.
I've got a teammate out in California, Fernando Gonzalez. He will, if he touches you, he can touch the back of your head with one hand. He will find a way to choke you with it.
Yeah, you just don't see a whole lot of success with it very much, especially in these later rounds. Guys getting wet. Luke Rockhold, that's what I was thinking. Luke Rockhold, I've seen him have some pretty successful single arm guillotine.
But he's got such long arms. He's
right.
78
Strong
or 79
guy.
inches. Yeah, he can just snake it around. He could get his vines wrapped around someone's neck.
Well done, Sam. Well done. You can work in another planting analogy before the end of the fight here. I'll really
we
go
can sow
wild.
those seeds, yeah.
Oh.
But back into this action, you know, we're seeing Ian trying to make sense out of what he can do here in the third and final round with Tristan Vines.
I like where Vines has Stevens' head planted in the cages. No room to shrimp anymore.
Yep.
It's hard to get. I mean, you can only sweep to the right at this point, and he hasn't attempted to do it even. I really do think if Tristan were to really posture up, and go for the finish, he could get it.
I agree, yeah.
I'm
These
right
short
there with
distance
you.
elbows are putting some damage on him, and just this grinding.
And just remember, I mean, Vines is a plus 600 underdog, you know, and there's something to be said for the fact that people are going to need to wake up to this guy being a skilled competitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very. Who set these odds?
Right.
I know, but I'm not going to say he's a nice guy, you know. But boy, was he wrong about this one.
Yeah, you can't get them all right, and
I guess just a side note on the betting lines, you know, I'm thinking back to Aries Amped, where you know the main 3 fights on that card, the top 3 fights on that card.
we're wrong.
It was dogs.
Yeah.
It was all dogs cashing, so, you know, we'll leave that for another time. But the dogs are barking here at these big Aries shows.
Sometimes he was grabbing the fence.
Vines Corner didn't, calling for a fence grab warning.
One thing that's pretty interesting about Vines is that he's not too concerned about passing the guard. His legs are kind of lazy, but just finding balance all the time.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that offensively from someone on top. Just not
Not
happy
caring.
in
Yeah,
guard.
all right, yeah.
But he's had such success with that round 2 particularly. I guess I understand it.
Right.
But even now he can be careful about passing them out this close to the cage.
And now he has been successful at passing the guard of Ian Stevens. Ian's trying to find a scramble out of here, but 1:52 remaining here in the third and final round of this battle.
We haven't had a decision in a little while, you know, and it feels like this is going to be
This could be,
destined to go to the scorecards, and I think we all assume that if that were to be the case, Vines is going to be getting his hand raised here, guys.
Yeah.
With a heavy shoulder on the chin of Ian Stevens is not comfortable.
Oh, it looks brutal, to be honest. They're right in front of us here.
He's going back for that guillotine. How crazy would it be if he gets a guillotine right now? I mean, it would be. I've never seen a comeback like
front
that.
of the home crowd.
Sam, I don't know if you saw the first. I mean, it was the first MMA fight tonight. Sammy Shires, Scott Everhart.
Yep.
Shires was, maybe he did score a 10-8 in one of the first 2. He was cruising. I put his win percentage at about 99.5. Everhart locks up a guillotine in round 3 and resets the grip, adjusts it, and that's exactly what Stevens needs with 45 seconds left to go here in the third round.
He's got to start attempting something.
Yep.
At this point, if I'm Stevens, give up bad positioning. I mean, open that guard, try and get him to take mount, try and do anything I can to make Tristan change position so I can try and capitalize. I mean, it would be an uphill battle. A lot of luck would have to come my way, but right now I've got no luck. I'm not doing anything.
That's a great point.
20 seconds remaining of the third and final round here.
Yeah, I like how Stevens, he's not quitting. He's still moving, holding, trying to do something, peppering when he can.
Oh, that final one in, and there. Apologies.
A kiss on the cheek. That was an unorthodox finish.
Well, I get it. He got him at the very end on accident. And,
the corner of Vines letting the celebration begin early, and I expect that is going to be the outcome here.
yeah.
A plus 600 underdog cashing for anybody fortunate to be on that side of things. TRESTON Vines, in his 8th pro fight, going to pick up his 6th pro victory.
It's an impressive victory.
It is.
That's a good one to put on the card there.
Yeah, and he did it so well. He will be able to brag about this.
Yeah, and for Ian Stevens, you got to wonder where he goes from here. But hopefully he stays active, and if that's his desire, I hope that's what he gets to do.
Yeah, you know what? He broke his long streak of not fighting. And there is a thing of ring rust. He's going to go back, watch the tape, and say, "Yeah, I should have done something else."
Sure. Yep, I could see that. That was a great fight for him, and again, like you said, great one to add to that card here, feather in the hat for him. Waiting for the decision here. Make it official. I'd like to take a minute here to thank our sponsors, Tennessee Army National Guard, Smoky Mountain CBD, Southern Roots Mortgage Broker, and of course, Proper 12 Irish Whiskey. A lot of great sponsors here today at the Chattanooga Convention Center. Great turnout, great audience here, very respectful audience and athletes here.
Big turnout. Like, I walked in as people were filing in. It was huge. Everyone's here.
It was pretty wild. I think after some Nashville fighters had their card, looks like a lot of them dipped out, but this next final fight, Caleb Crump versus Torres Finney, is worth staying around for. Leave it to Jeff to make it official.
So what are you thinking? Is there a 10-8 in there?
Maybe. I mean, maybe. What do you think? I mean,
I hope not, but I can see it happening.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 grueling rounds, this decision has gone to your judges' scorecards. All 3 judges see this bout the same way. 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the blue corner, the Black Mamba, TRESTON Vines.
Good for the judges.
Yeah, Tristan